Hi, I'm Jeff Kornberg, and on this episode of The Dragon's Tomb, I'm going to be teaching you how to play Mysterium. Mysterium is a social deduction game from the 1960s where players work together to try and figure out who among them is pretending to be high on LSD. To set up, place the game box and all its components in a central area and give each player 6 guessing tokens. Then, put the trip tracking clock off to the side and set it to 1. Next, pass out tabs of LSD to everyone playing. The game includes these introductory tabs for your first game, but you'll need to acquire more from your local dealer for any subsequent plays. Since LSD can be dangerous and unpredictable, the game comes with this deck of cards which features all of the various items you should remove from your home before playing to make sure you have a safe environment. Once those items are taken care of, everyone will place their tab of LSD on their tongue to begin the game. However, one of the tabs will be a placebo and won't have any effect on the person taking it. After about an hour, everyone's trips will be starting up except for theirs, which will secretly clue them into the fact that they're the one who took the placebo. Turn the trip tracking clock to 2, and now you're ready to start playing. The object of the game for the people who are on LSD is to try and figure out who among them took the placebo. The object of the game for the person who took the placebo is to pretend to be tripping and not get found out for the duration of the game. Each hour, everyone will play a minigame, which will give insights into who is actually tripping and who is faking. For the first minigame, have everyone take 3 hallucination cards. Each card contains trippy artwork designed to foster visualizations. You'll then spend the next hour mesmerized with how the colors are swirling and the art is breathing as you enthusiastically share your observations with the group. As this happens, the faker will be making things up and trying to blend in, which they'll also do for each upcoming minigame as well. When everyone's hallucinations fade out, it's time to make initial guesses on who the faker is. Everyone takes out their guessing tokens and must pick a player to give one to. If you think someone is definitely tripping, you can give them a positive guess, but if you think someone is the faker, you can give them a negative one. At the end of the game, these will be used to determine who wins and who loses. Next, move the clock hand and go on to the second minigame. Take out the sand timer, flip it over, and have everyone intently watch it until all the sand has fallen to the bottom. This will only take about 2 minutes. However, since LSD distorts your perception of time, this game will actually take up an entire hour, slowly driving everyone crazy as eternity seems to stand still indefinitely. While this impossible time screw becomes an unholy reality, players should be looking around trying to determine who's reacting genuinely and who is not. Once the sand finally runs out, there'll be another round of guessing, you'll move the clock hand, and then go on to the third minigame. Pass out 2 pedestrian cards to each player. Each card features a person on it who, in reality, isn't thinking twice about you, but in your paranoid state, you'll be convinced that they know you're on drugs and are going to turn you into the police. Everyone will then go around the room, showing their cards to other players, causing them to act naturally as to not raise any suspicion. After an hour, there'll be another round of guessing, you'll move the clock hand, and then go on to the fourth minigame. This game will test everyone's ability to interact with a real-life normal person. Take the normal person tiles and deal 1 to each player. Each tile will have the image of a generic, intimidating person from your past on it. Your strict nanny, your bowling team coach, your neighbor who's always trying to get you to join their multi-level marketing business, your high school crush's menacing father, your favorite NASCAR driver, and your cousin's boyfriend who turned out to be a douche. Each player must look at the tile they were dealt, take out their phone, call the person in their life who they most closely associate with that archetype, and then reveal to them that they are currently tripping. The other players will watch along, observing how they deal with this very stressful situation. Once everyone's made their call, there'll be another round of guessing, you'll move the clock hand, and then go on to the final minigame. Deal everyone 1 card from the flashback deck. Each card features a somber location on it, and everyone must spend 30 minutes staring at theirs. Next, everyone will actually head home, go about their business for about a month or so, gather back together, and then look at their card again. After all that time, doing this should immediately trigger an acid flashback. As you failed to comprehend what is real and what is imaginary, the other players will watch and study your reaction before making final guesses. Also, taking a step back, before everyone heads home on the original game day, you'll all spit into one of these receptacles. They'll get taped shut, mailed to a drug testing facility, and during the month-long break, the results will come in the mail in a sealed envelope. After the final guesses are made, everyone will reveal all of the guess tokens that they were given. Then, you'll open the envelope and read the drug test results out loud. If the player who took the placebo has the most negative guesses, they unfortunately weren't convincing enough and lose the game. However, if even one other person has more negative guesses than they do, then the placebo player is the winner. Also, throughout the game, the placebo player may optionally decide to take these black crows from the box and hand them to another player who may be getting too close to figuring out their secret. These terrifying birds almost always freak people out and induce a bad trip, making them lose their mind and forget about their suspicions altogether. All in all, this game is a blast to play, though you can absolutely tell it's something from the 60s that could never get made today with our modern safety regulations. However, I will say, I am impressed with some of the considerations they did include, like this screen you can put over someone's head to calm them if they're having a bad trip, and these smaller versions of the cards which makes the game much more accessible for children.